Good afternoon, aspirant community. Today, we are going to deal with a very interesting topic. As everyone knows, normally we say that today's society has become materialistic. Everyone has become money minded. But if you go back into the history, the whole human history is replete with the same kind of scenario. Money as a medium of exchange, money as a representation or a symbol of a value. Even during the time of barter system, even though the coins may not be there, but the money as such and the very medium of exchange having a value had played a major role. And today, when we say about money or coinage or a currency, we focus upon economy. But if you go back to the past, then throughout the human history, not only the Indian context, anywhere in the world, what we were going to see and what we can see is that money or coinage had played a tremendous role not only in shaping the economy but in a social aspects as a part of cultural dimensions, even politically also. Money or coinage had played a major role. And when we are saying politically, it doesn't mean changing the empires or having any kind of effect on the political fortunes of a particular area, region, or a country. Political consequence regarding the money or money as a coin or a coinage is that the very dynasties which used to issue the coins, these coins which we still find today, they give us a lot of hints and evidences about the very past in which the coins were issued, and also the dynasties which had issued them. And that's why, as I have mentioned, money had a tremendous role to play in those times. And even today, the very legacy which we can get from the history, okay, the very money and coinage plays a major role. And money and coinage means was exactly the very numismatic or a study of coins, which has now become like a separate branch of history, and it gives tremendous evidences to support the literature or literary evidences and facts, epigraphy or study of inscriptions, and the very archaeological evidences. So, in this context, today we are going to discuss the very role of coins or so called numismatics, which had shaped the ancient India at a different times in a different ways and bringing so much diversity. And as I mentioned, the very diversity which was not only about economic diversity but which had a cultural dimensions, which had a social realms, which had a political realms, as well as the very far-reaching impact and the consequences upon the history. And if we today are discussing about this aspect, a very untouched area on the part of UPSC, why we are discussing it today? Because if you see, we can see in the context that recently the Kushana coins were unearthed. The Kushana coins we have found as a part of new discovery. These are the coins having the images of Indian gods and goddesses. But the point is that so many times we get such a news. There are coins of this era, coins issued by that dynasty they have found. But why basically these Kushana coins and their findings is so important? Because the Kushana, when they were ruling India, their coins serve as a kind of watershed for a coinage or a numismatic history of ancient times. And a very ancient India, which was shaped in a different ways, and where the coins themselves played a major role. These very coins and their findings, they not only tell us about an era which was before Kushanas, but even the future times or eras which came, okay, and the transitions from ancient history to the medieval one that we can get to see due to the Kushana coins. So apart from inscriptions, or there is epigraphy, the study of inscriptions, the very archaeological sources and the very literary sources, we have these coins or numismatics as a very crucial evidence. And this is the reason that why we have to go into this very aspect. And one more reason as to why I am discussing today, because the main point is that the coinage or a numismatic has remained like an untouched area on the part of UPSC. UPSC hasn't asked any such questions, be it a prelims or a mains, in the context of these coins. So definitely the 15 marks question for the mains, at least 3 questions can easily be framed by the UPSC, considering its own trade. Okay, if you see the trend of the UPSC in recent times, definitely at least 2 or 3 questions can be framed, and hence what we can see that at least 6 marks in a GS prelims and 15 marks in the mains. This is like a potential area which can award you the marks, that is numismatic. So let's begin what exactly we can get to see. So in the context in which we are having a discussion, what we will see today, a kind of background or a brief history of coinage right since ancient times. So if you see the history of coinage in ancient India, and if you take a look at Indus Valley, then obviously we have a very famous evidence, seals, okay, either square or rectangular. In Indus Valley, basically, we had a seals which were square or a rectangular, or sometimes even circular. Hmm? Circular seals were less, mostly square or a rectangular. And in between square and rectangular also, square seals, 2 into 2 inches, right? 2 into 2 inches. These seals were very common. And earlier, there was a version propounded by the historians that these Indus Valley seals, they were nothing but the coinage of the time. They were acting like money. And of course, these seals we find a very enigmatic Indus Valley inscription. Why I am saying enigmatic? Because the Indus Valley inscription has not yet been deciphered. And of course, the historians, they were having this traditional view that Indus Valley seals, they were nothing but the coins. But if you see the recent evidences, then obviously we will get to see that these Indus Valley seals are not the coins proper. Rather, they were definitely a stamp of an authority. The seals which we use today for stamping and authority purpose, in the same way they were used in those times. These seals also used to act like a passport or a kind of identity. And that is the reason that more or less unanimously the historians are now coming to the conclusion that IVC seals, they had their own distinct identity, but definitely they were not acting as a medium of exchange, and they were not the coins or they were not a money as such. So in this context, if it is settled that in Indus Valley there was no money or coinage, then definitely we have to see that the history of coinage will come to the fore only since the Vedic period. And if you see the Vedic period, we can find the two terms. Okay, I have mentioned here the first millennium BC, and first millennium BC means definitely the Vedic period has started. In fact, the first millennium BC means Rig Vedic period is coming to an end, and the latter Vedic period is starting. So, be it a Rig Vedic era or a latter Vedic era, what we can get to see, either Rig Vedic or latter Vedic. What we will get to see that we find different types of coins. Okay, that means the names of the coins. I'm not saying the coins as a part of evidences. We find different names of the coins, that is Nishka, gold coin, Shatman, silver coin, and Krishnala, okay, a gold copper coin. So three different types of coinage have been mentioned in a Vedic text as a part of literary evidence. That Nishka was a gold coin in those times, Shataman was a silver coin, and Krishnala was a kind of either gold or a copper coin, or a kind of mixture of gold and copper. But the point is that we actually don't get any actual evidence of the coinage. As I mentioned, the study of coins is known as a numismatic, and for that you actually require the coins as a part of evidence. Then only we can get the different dimensions about the time and the era in which the coins were issued. But in case of Rigvedic period also, and in case of later Vedic period also, we get the names of the coins as a part of literary evidence, but we actually don't get any kind of numismatic evidence. Actual coins we don't have. And as a result, again you will see, just like in this valley, in a Vedic period also, a barter system was prevalent. Right? So what is the historical conclusion? Without going into controversies, we have just keep in mind that just like in this valley, a barter system was a feature in case of Vedic period. Then, if this was the case, and as we know that later Vedic period, it will come to an end around 600 BC. Okay, later Vedic period, it will come to an end around 600 BC. And once the later Vedic period comes to an end, then what we will see? The post Vedic period will start. Okay, what we will see? Post Vedic period. And post Vedic period normally belongs to 600 BC to 200 BC. Okay, post Vedic period, it belongs to 600 BC to 200 BC. And this is a post Vedic period where the second urbanization was witnessed. Okay, and I am using the term second urbanization deliberately. I am using the term second urbanization deliberately. Why? Because if this is a period known as a second urbanization, then a very common question that will be asked is that which was the first urbanization? The first urbanization as a part of Indian history is the Indus Valley civilization, which we already discussed as of now. So if IVC was the first urbanization, and here we had a seals which were not a coins, which is now proved properly, then obviously the second urbanization which emerged in this so-called post-Vedic period around from 600 BC. Here we actually get the first ever evidence of the coins. Okay? So earliest evidence of the coinage. So coins proper, the earliest evidences we can get from post-Vedic period. And this is an era, being a second urbanization, so many coins were issued. And the earliest coins as a part of numismatic evidence that we can have in India as of now is that the so-called silver punchmark coins. They are called as a silver punchmark coins. Okay. So from around 700 BC, that means when the latter Vedic period was going upon, so we can get the evidences that the earliest of the silver punchmark coins they were issued. But the point is that if you see properly, then as we have seen in later Vedic period, the coinage as such was absent. So now the historians are coming to the conclusion, again based on datings, the carbon 14 dating, a very famous method to have a proper chronology. The coins will belong to post Vedic period and the second urbanization. And these are the coins, as I mentioned, they are silver coins. And they are called as a punch mark coins. Okay? They are called as a punch mark coins. Why? Because some kind of punching or a stamping or a permanent engraving, okay, permanent embossing was done on the coins. And since these coins, the earliest coins, were made of a silver, they are called as a silver punch mark coins. Now the point is that if UPSC asks the questions, then it will ask you that the earliest coins of India were golden punch mark coins. Okay? The statement can be given, and definitely the statement will be wrong because the earliest coins are silver coins. But the point is that if we have to think that the coins were only silver or gold, then what about copper? So definitely, along with the silver punchmark coins, we also get the copper coins. Okay? So along with silver coins, we also get copper punchmark coins. The silver coins are more and copper punchmark coins are less, and that's why mostly the silver punchmark coins is a term which is commonly referred to the earliest coinage of India. So what we have to keep in mind, the earliest coins which were punchmark coins and which were issued during the era of a post-Vedic period or a second urbanization, that is 600 BC. These were silver coins also, and these were copper coins also, but not the gold coins. So this aspect we have to be very clear about. Then after this, once again you proceed, then we will get to see, as just I mentioned, there are no gold coins. So when we get to see the actual gold coins in India, then you can see here that the actual gold coins in India are found in a period known as the so-called post-Mauryan period. Right? They are found in a period known as the post-Mauryan period. And post-Mauryan period, normally it will start. Post-Mauryan period, it will start from 200 BC till 200 AD. Okay, the post-Mauryan period, it will start from 200 BC to 200 AD. And as a part of that, what we will see that in a post-Mauryan period, the foreign invasions were witnessed. In a post-Mauryan period, the foreign invasions in a witness. And as a part of foreign invasions, so Indo-Greeks, they were the first one. Indo-Greeks were the first one to invade India. And these were the Indo-Greeks. They issued the first ever gold coins of India. Okay, so first ever numismatic evidence for gold coins that we find in a post-Mauryan period, first of all. And Indo-Greeks are the one who actually issued the first ever coins. Then, what we have to see, if Indo-Greeks, they are the first one to issue the coins, then obviously we have to see that they are the foreigners. Indo-Greeks are foreigners. And being foreigners, we have to see that the first gold coins in India, they were definitely introduced by not Indians, but by the foreigners. So that has to be very, very clear to us. Then, because the UPSC will go in a reverse way and ask you the questions. Okay, UPSC will go in a very reverse way and ask you the questions. Next thing that we have to keep in mind, if you want to see any kind of image upon the coins in the context of the kings, these are the Indo-Greeks again. Indo-Greeks were the first dynasty to have the image of kings on their coins. So this is also very interesting aspect which will be asked by the UPSC. One more aspect, again the Indo-Greeks were the first one to have the image of gods and goddesses on their coins. Okay? An image of any kind of deity that we can find on the coins is issued by the Indo-Greeks. So what we have, Indo-Greeks were the first one to issue the gold coins in India. The gold coins issued by issued in India, they were issued by foreign dynasty, not by an Indian dynasty. That means the first coins. Then Indo-Greeks are the one who are issuing the coins with Indian deity. Indo-Greeks are the one who issue the coins, or who had issued the coins with the regular images of the kings. And then again, what we see, earliest dating pattern, earliest dates as a part of reference, and which can be very useful for chronology also, they were also issued by the Indo-Greeks. So these aspects are very, very crucial in the context of Indo-Greek coins. And post-Mauryan period, it has a tremendous development of coinage. The development of coinage which was not witnessed in earlier eras, as we have seen right since Indus Valley till the second urbanization. We did not find any kind of tremendous development in the case of coins. Okay? The support of development is not visible, but in a post-modern era, we have a tremendous development of coins, and the start was made by the Indo-Greeks proper. Next thing that we have to keep in mind. So if the gold coins, as we had seen the images also in case of Indo-Greeks, the next foreign invaders which we had in India, they were Shakas. Okay, the next foreign invaders which we had in India, they were Shakas. So Shakas basically they had issued silver coins. Shakas had issued silver coins. If the Indo-Greeks were issuing the gold coins, Shakas were issuing the silver coins. And in fact, as we can see here, largest number of silver coins in India, they were issued by Shakas. Okay, largest number of the silver coins in India, they were issued by Shakas. Then what we have to keep in mind? It is not a case that Shakas, if they are issuing the largest number of silver coins, that doesn't mean they did not issue any other coins. They also issue, or they did issue, the coins of other metals, but they were on a very lesser scale. Okay, the coins other than silver issued by Shakas, they were issued on a minuscule scale. This aspect we should know. Then again, if you come to the legends on a Shaka coins, the very legends in the sense, the very symbols, designs, images, okay, of a king, deity, any symbol or image of a nature or any species, it is called legend. So legends on these coins, if you see, they will have two script. Legend will also include the image, and along with image, you will have the writing. Okay, this combined, it is known as a legend. So legends basically, along with the image, it will have Greek and Brahmi writings. Okay, Greek language and a script, and even the Brahmi script, it was used for writing by the Indo-Greeks. So Greeks, obviously, Shakas, even though they came after Indo-Greeks, so since they had pushed the Indo-Greeks in a westward side, so the interaction between the Shaka and the Indo-Greeks, that led to the adoption of the Greek script, also known as Aramaic script. Okay. So normally the Greek language, it is written in this Aramaic script. So Shakas had used it also, and since Shakas came to India and became the part of Indian society, in India, Brahmi script was very prevalent. Okay, in India, the Brahmi script was prevalent. So obviously, we will see that Brahmi script was also used by Shakas. So along with the Greek script and a very so-called language, the Brahmi script, the Indian script, was also used by Shakas. So UPSC will deliberately ask us that Shakas were using only the Greek script. Okay, so we have to be very, very clear that Shakas, along with the Greek script, they also use the Brahmi script. Then they were also using Kharoshti script. They were also using the Kharoshti or Kharoshti script. This Kharoshti or Kharoshti, a script used in a Persia or by Persian empires. And obviously, since apart from Greeks, even the Persian invasions had taken place in India, even before the Mauryan Empire or during 6th century BC. So kind of cultural influence of the Persia was visible in India also. And as a part of cultural influence, the very Kharoshti script had entered in India. And even Ashoka had used, the very Kharoshti script in his inscriptions. This point is also crucial. Okay, this point is also very, very crucial in the context of the script. So this Kharoshti script was now used by Shakas also. So Shakas are also using the Greek language and the script. Shakas are using the Brahmi script, and Shakas are also using the Kharoshti script. So these three aspects we should know. And as we have seen, Shaka coins are predominantly silver coins. Then when we are talking about Shaka legends, what we get to see? The common legend or a symbol will bull and hill type. Right? bull and hill type, and then elephant and hill type. Bull and hill type and elephant and hill type. These were the common symbols in the context of shakas. So these shaka coins definitely were going to influence the future coinage also, right? Because shakas also belong to post-modern period, and in a post-modern period, there were going to be the other dynasties also. And after shakas, we had a very famous dynasty known as Kushanas, and very Kushana coins, as we have seen, they were found. So, in today's discussion, I hope that you have got the very idea and a multi-dimensional view about the coinage in ancient India, especially the coinage before Kushanas. So today I will stop here only. We will continue our discussion, and that too again in a very interesting way in the context of Kushana coinage and the future coinage which came after Kushanas. So in that context, we have to see that how the future coinage in India was changed. So I will stop here now. So thank you very much, and we will meet again in a next episode of our series. Thanks a lot.